we made the decision that you wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and be able to watch Luca and to raise Enzo and to kind of do it all. It almost feels like a lot of the work that you do around here feels unseen, unappreciated, undervalued. Honestly, it feels like no matter how I try to say I am grateful for it, it never feels like it lands. So help me understand, where am I falling short?
If this isn't gonna work for you, like, you need to tell me. So like, it wasn't you, it was me.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Late Night Date Night podcast. I'm Lizzie, and this is my husband, Sergio. We're back after a couple weeks off, or maybe just one. I can't even remember. Life gets kind of crazy sometimes with having two little ones that aren't in school yet. You know, like one naps, one doesn't. Sometimes the one that does nap doesn't want to nap either. And so that's usually when we get to do our podcast. And
Yep.
That didn't happen last week, so we're back at it and make it work as we can. The last 24 hours, maybe even longer than that, maybe since like Saturday for Luca's birthday party. I guess I just noticed some things coming up for me because, you know, we're trying this new morning schedule to allow you to get more rest than 4 hours of sleep and things like that. And that has me working out a little bit later in the day and bringing the boys with me. And with two young children, again, kind of like the nap thing in the podcast, like things don't always go as planned. I think it was yesterday, I got a call from the Kids Academy that, you know, Enzo wasn't doing well and I had to come get him. And that would have been fine maybe on like Friday because I was in like a good flow and I was like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. We're going to do this. We're going to make this new schedule work for the both of us and whatnot. And I was feeling good. But then yesterday kind of sent me into like a downward spiral because I got like 20 minutes into my workout and got like 2 of my 6 lifts that I needed to get done for my plan and to stay on track with my fitness and nutrition coach and all that. When that didn't happen, I just kind of like the rest of the day, I was like, well, there goes my goals and dreams again, you know, like.
How did we get from you having Lifetime call you and say that Enzo's having a tough day to you spiraling down this path and being like, all of my goals and dreams are gone?
I don't know. It happened fast. I think I was just in a bad headspace yesterday having that happen. I also wanted to get out the door like a lot earlier than I did because I know that the closer we get to Enzo's nap time, like the more likely it is that he's not going to do well. And so I think I was just frustrated with myself that I didn't get out the door with the kids early enough. And then that happened. And so then I was like, well, like I'm not going to be able to do this anymore, or I'm going to have to sacrifice my goals and dreams and again, and I don't know.
You say again, what do you, like, it sounds like something from the past was brought up. What was brought up?
I think it was just last year feeling like I was just going to be home with the kids and you were going to work on your business and be gone like the whole time. And so I think it was just old like trauma and old wounds coming up from that. And then I think last week, it's so fun celebrating, you know, your kids when they have birthdays and stuff, but it does bring on like some extra work with like birthday party planning and making sure there's food for everyone, including people that have like food allergies or like their snacks, and are you going to do gifts and like, I don't know, managing the guest list and all the things that come with that. And like I made Luca a cake because I wanted to and I enjoy baking and all that, but like I'm not baking on a weekly basis because it is like, it's time consuming and it's challenging with 2 little ones in the house and stuff. And so anyways, like it's extra stuff. But then like when we get in a tiff again, like trying to get out the door on Saturday to make it to Luca's swim class before we went to the party, like that was just like, hello, does anyone see me and like the effort that I'm putting in to like make his birthday great? Or like,
You think a lot of stay-at-home moms struggle with this? I mean, I think seems to be a common theme for just ever since we made the decision that you wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and be able to watch Luca and to raise Enzo and to kind of do it all. It almost feels like a lot of the work that you do around here feels unseen, unappreciated, undervalued. Honestly, it feels like no matter how I try to say I am grateful for it, it never feels like it lands. So help me understand, where am I falling short that has you in this spot where you constantly feel like what you do is never valued? Because listen, I'm not the only guy, and I'm not saying, I'm sure I've made plenty of mistakes, right? For most men who are the sole providers and their wife is a stay-at-home mom, like, this is a common dynamic. So like, what am I not doing or not saying that is creating this place where you feel like you're not valued?
Well, I think it starts with me.
Okay.
Feeling so confident in what I do for the family and doing it out of love. Yesterday with the gym incident, I just got to this place where I felt like I have this pattern of not voicing my needs, feeling like because I'm a stay-at-home mom, like I don't have the ability to do that because I don't bring in an income. So therefore, why would I deserve 90 minutes to myself to go work out in the morning? And so it's just like this breaking this pattern of like this new gym schedule and new gym routine is like, it's fine. I can make some adjustments this week and see if it works. But like, if it doesn't work for me, then I have to be comfortable like voicing that concern and then hopefully coming to a different type of conclusion.
Have I not listened to you in the past, like recently? I'm sure, I mean, you can go back as far as you want and point fingers at me and all the times that I didn't listen. And there's plenty of times where I'm sure you could make a case for that. But in recent history, I would say in the last 6 months, has that been the case?
No.
Okay. I'm genuinely curious about this. Have we had conversations about the difference between income and value?
Mm.
Okay. And have they ever made you feel guilty about spending our money?
No.
Okay. So when I say the value we bring to the family is different, the value I bring, some of the value I bring, is the money that I provide for the family to do the things that we want to do. To live in this beautiful home, to be able to even go to Lifetime, which is is like the bougiest. That if you have never been to Lifetime, Lifetime is like incredible. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't even, it's the only gym that I've ever seen where there's a no alcohol past this point sign. I'm sitting there being like, only here. Mm-hmm. But we get to go do all these things. We get to go on these vacations because of the money that I make. Now, there's also other value I bring. I bring value as trying to be a good husband, as a present father, as a good man, as a role model in the house. And so one is income-based, and the other one is a different value. And when I look at you, I look at the value that you bring to the home. I cannot make the money that I make and run a business without you. It's not possible. I've told you this, right? To know that the boys are at home, safe with you. To know that this is something that we get to create. You bring a lot of value to the home. Mm-hmm. Why don't you see it? Why don't you see that as value?
I guess I have to like untether these views that like my value is based on the paycheck that I do or don't make. And right now I don't.
Where did that come from?
I think it can come from like society placing value on things, you know, like people that are wealthy live in these amazing homes and drive these amazing cars and go on these amazing vacations and all those things.
Most of them are fucking miserable.
Yeah, but everyone glorifies that because that's the highlight reel on Instagram.
Cool.
And so, yeah, like I guess I get wrapped up in this idea that because I don't have a paycheck that comes like bi-weekly or whatever with my name on it, then like...
Well, you're more than welcome to go get a job if you'd like. Would that make you feel better?
No.
Okay.
I mean, no, I think eventually I do want to be able to work part-time or start something that's my own, but...
So what would you call this?
Right now, I mean, this is part of it.
Okay.
This is a start.
It's a great start. And the last 8 guys that have signed up in my coaching program, my 6-week program, what did I tell you about them?
That they came on because of things that I said.
Yeah. They went and listened to the podcast, this one, and because of the conversations that we had and the way that you spoke about our marriage and the things that we struggled, it gave me credibility, and then they signed up. Mm-hmm. You generated $40,000 worth of income.
I don't know. Sometimes it's just hard to see that, you know, because like I know that time is money, you know, and like you need that time to run your coaching calls or like build out your website or...
Do I communicate pretty effectively with you about what I need in life?
Yeah.
Always. If I need a hug, I tell you. If I need you to speak value and words of affirmation into me, do I tell you? If I need to go on a boys trip, do I tell you? If I need time alone, do I tell you? You don't have to worry about where I stand because I speak truth. I'm always telling you.
Yeah, I know.
Always. And so when I tell you after every call that this guy signed up because of the podcast, I'm showing you that you're creating value. Yeah. You're creating income. Now, if you want money to come into your bank account every 2 weeks so that you can see that part of the $40,000 was something you created, cool, we can set that up. Would that make you feel better if we had you on like a payroll?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to be on.
Because I don't see this as my money. I don't see Standard as my company. What the fuck am I doing? Like, I told you I was going to build this differently. Do you feel like you've been a part of the growth in this?
Yeah.
Do you feel like I've come to you with the development of this? Mm-hmm. Then this is yours, just as much as it is mine.
I mean, they're my own beliefs that I just have to change and flip and like still let go of some things.
God is gonna fuck you up right now. God has got you against the fucking ropes. About what?
Letting go.
Letting go of what?
Well, just like being able to communicate my needs and not care how you may or may not respond, even though when I did bring them to you, you were like, if this isn't going to work for you, like, you need to tell me. So, like, it wasn't you, it was me.
Yeah. Your responsibility is to speak truth. It is not your responsibility how I react to that truth.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that. A couple of podcasts ago, you were like, you have this I don't give a fuck attitude. I speak truth. If you get offended by that, that is not my problem. If you speak truth to me and I get upset about what you said, that is not your problem to deal with. That's my own insecurities to deal with. Mm-hmm. And God's got you, I mean, he's got you against the ropes and he's going to force you to let go of what?
Perfectionism and like this need to respond in a kind tone that's just like, okay, sure.
Yeah, I don't need you to. I mean, listen, I want you to be loving and I want you to be respectful, but the world will call you a bitch if you're assertive. I will not. I've never thought, I told our friend Bree, like, you have the most pure heart of anybody I met. So when you speak truth, I will listen. And the thing that you said, and this is what everybody falls into this trap of, when you are living your life by somebody else's standards of what success is, you will fuck yourself. Can success be money and cars and homes and experiences and clothes and all of that? Yeah. Is that the only definition of success? No. So what is your definition of success? What is your standard of success?
A happy family, kids that we're connected to, like experiences that we can bring them on. Just this like life full of people that we know and love and that are on this journey together. Like, it's all about that kind of stuff, like the feelings.
Okay. Here's the hard part about this is everything that you want is going to require you to let go of what you have, myself included. I mean, the reality is everything that you want is going to require this identity of you to go away. Mm-hmm.
I just have to evolve into this like new version of myself and not be like afraid of how people will respond and to not see me as like this Minnesota nice girl.
Well, yeah, because it's no longer serving you.
No.
Like, are you angry at yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who else is really angry at themselves? Me.
Why?
Because I don't like parts of me. I don't like the guy that loses his temper on his kids and gets frustrated. I don't like the guy that can't hold space for his wife at times because he's stressed. I don't like the guy that at times still chases money. I don't like the guy. There's just parts of me that I just don't like. And here's the thing. It's not me like shaming that version of me. Everything that we want. Because here's the thing. I want the house. I want the cars. I want a dope life. I want all of it. I want the material shit. None of that matters as if the foundation of success for me doesn't exist, which is a loving relationship, amazing children, my own health, but the reality is my own peace. And so when you talk about like evolving, here's the thing, like you get to build this identity of whoever you want. Physically, spiritually, as a mother, a wife, as a friend, as a woman, you get to build this woman.
I feel like I've heard it come up a couple times. I can't remember, but I think one was during, when we were streaming the online church service here at the house, like this Sunday or Easter Sunday or whenever it was, but I've heard it come up a couple times, but it's like you're in between like your old life and your new life, and like you've got like one foot in your old life and you just need to like make the jump to your new life, but it's new and scary. And
yeah, and a lot of people will say that they feel lost, and I would reframe that saying you're just exploring your outer limits.
Yeah,
you're not lost. What is this new identity that you want?
Yeah, I mean, I just need to like let go of like these old patterns and these old beliefs that like I can't voice my needs, you know.
So there's letting go to create the space,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's the development of this new woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what are the things that you know you need to let go of? What is this woman that you want to design?
Yeah, well, those are some of the things that I need to like let go of and like own that we've been there at times, but like I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect.
Good example right there.
Yeah. And so, you know, sometimes these old like patterns and things that I'm responsible for creating in our relationship like die hard. Just more work that I need to like do on myself to forgive and let go and own this like future version of myself that's like more confident and knows exactly what she wants and like isn't afraid to voice that to you no matter like how you're gonna respond.
Yeah, and I have a responsibility to make sure that you feel safe enough to do that.
Mm-hmm. You were like so kind yesterday with the whole gym situation, and like even before like this all like started with myself, and you were like, if this is not working, like you have to tell me. And so like at this point it's just like it's not like you responded in a kind like loving way, like compassionate way, and like it was on me. It was my fault because I didn't like voice these things before they came up.
Yeah, and listen, this is massive accountability on your part. The thing that is kind of layered in here is like, yeah, okay, own it, but give yourself a little bit of grace that this is perfectly imperfect. You're creating this new version of you, and there's going to be this, it's kind of like a bowling ball going down with like those bumper plates. It's like you're here, and then you're here, and then you're here, and eventually, right? You don't need the bumper or the, I don't know bowling terms. I don't fucking bowl, right? Bumper, whatever those things are called, okay? But eventually you're not going to need them, right? And you're going to be able to roll a strike, right? And it's because you've been able to find your center point, right? But in the time being, it's going to be like you're going to go bounce back and forth. And eventually those cycles of going back will be less frequent.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, same thing for me. Like I'm aware of these things that I don't like. One of the things that I've had to change is like putting my phone down in the morning when I'm with my boys. Because when I'm going to have breakfast with them and I'm on my phone, I'm trying to do this. And then Luca asks why. For me to get annoyed at that, that's not okay.
Right.
So I was like, oh, well, what is stealing from my attention from this? It's this thing. Okay, cool. I can control that. And now I can just be present with them. Same thing at dinner, right? Coming up and not bringing work, leaving my phone downstairs or putting it in my backpack like I have been. That's a thing. And so there's just these things where you have to ask yourself, like, if I'm going to be confident, what does confident Lizzi do?
She speaks up for what she needs, even if that may cause like tension and possible conflict, but it may or it may not. You know, it may just be a conversation, like it was.
And what's wrong with conflict?
I don't know. Conflict isn't bad, but
have you and I been able to have hard conversations and fight in a healthy way? Have we also gone the other way? Yeah. But when truth is spoken and it's done early without resentment building up, we handle it really well.
I don't know. I guess I just feel like sometimes maybe I'm just going through the motions and I don't even realize that I'm getting like upset or worked up about it until like it's an explosion of like I'm crying and frustrated and like resentful and all the things. Because like yesterday at the gym, like that wasn't the first time, that was like the second time, and like the second time was fine because I got my workout done in the 45 minutes before I got the call and whatnot, but like the second time it didn't quite work out that way. I guess I just have to like stay more connected to myself too and like understand what's working and what's not working.
Stop trying to do so much all at once. It's the fastest way for you to get disconnected.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to say,
so
but
hard.
well, listen, you're a stay-at-home. Here's going to be the challenge, right? The way that you describe being a stay-at-home mom is like opening up your computer and there's 70,000 tabs open, right?
It is.
Okay, I get that. I'm making a lot of assumptions here, so if my assumptions are off, you tell me. I'm sure that's a lot to handle. And one of the worst ways to probably deal with that is trying to do 7 things at once. Be here now. When you're making content, be present. When you're with the boys, be present. When we're together, be present. Presence is going to solve like a lot of this, because I feel like for me, that presence creates the awareness for me to know, oh, I don't like the way I'm like acting like right now. I got to make some adjustments. Cool. Let me pivot. So I pivot. If you're not aware of it, it just happens. Before you know it, you get frustrated and this tension builds up. And all of a sudden you're crying at Lifetime. Yeah, we save the crying for the camera.
What's new? Just a big old crier.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Because
I'm an emotional person.
there's nothing, I told you, there's nothing wrong with emotions. There's nothing, even for the guys, I tell the guys, there's nothing wrong with crying, right? You got to learn how to feel it, sit with it, because that's where all the lessons are. Too many people run from the pain, and that's why they never actually move forward. And you're not the only stay-at-home mom who struggles with time, purpose, and identity. Let me ask you this. It's almost my birthday, and then it's going to be Memorial Day, and we'll be up in Grand Lake. We'll get to have fun and do a cookout.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of roll into June, which means we'll be back up in Grand Lake at least once. And then July, we'll have 4th of July. We're going to go to Costa Rica. And then August, we'll be up in Minnesota, right? And also up in Grand Lake celebrating my mom's birthday. And then September is going to roll around, and it's one of our favorite times. Football season will start. And we'll have the doors open, and we'll be watching football, and the Broncos are going to be going to the Super Bowl. October will roll around. We'll be getting like the kids in Halloween costumes. And then November, we'll be going back to Minnesota to probably spend Thanksgiving with your family. And then we'll find ourselves back up in Grand Lake in December. And there's that moment after we open up Christmas presents and your birthday. There's that week. And if you could go to that moment, and there's this version of Lizzi that's built. You designed her. You created her. And she could say something to you. One piece of advice. What do you think she would say?
Just to be all of you.
Be all of you.
And own like all parts of you.
Be all of you and own all parts of you.
Yeah, no matter how it makes other people feel.
Beautiful. So in those moments when you don't know what to do, I want you to remember that future version of you looking back on this woman, and she's just saying, be all of you. Love yourself. Don't worry about other people. And that can become the thing when shit gets hard, because it's going to get hard, that you can just remind yourself.
I just have to remember that it's so easy to get to just go through the motions because you're trying to keep up with everything, your personal goals. And for me, that's being on this health and fitness journey, and the growth that even can come from that around body image and the stuff tied to my dance background, and being in this growth phase, and how my body is changing and responding, and how I want to build this business with you and being part of the podcast. But some weeks they don't work out and you want them to, and I want to do more, and I want to be able to share my voice more so women can feel seen and heard, and hopefully feel empowered, be a present mom, and make their birthday special because I love them. I don't know, just be with them, even if that's going to the park and enjoying time outside together, and all of these things. It's just so easy to get stuck in emotions, and that you just I don't know, you want to make it work for other people, but then you don't realize that because you're stuck in the motion and the wheel that maybe it's not working for you.
So all of those things that you want, I want you to go back and watch this podcast and come to this moment, and I want you to see that you're already doing all of those things.
I know.
Every single one of them. Only thing that you're not doing is giving yourself credit for it. Your standards are perfection.
Which is impossible and stupid.
Bro, as somebody who has really high standards for himself and anybody who comes into his fucking life, even sometimes I'm like, damn, this girl is she's gonna crush herself.
Clearly.
There's nothing. No, this is beautiful. You listen. Sometimes you gotta get kicked down and stand back up.
Yeah.
You're just in a season of just death and rebirth. That's why we're in all black. Welcome to the funeral of Lizzi, right? Yeah. But I think there's this piece of just you being able to see that you're doing all of those things, and they may not look exactly like you want them to, but that's the fucking work. That's your ability to look at it and be like, hey, I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my fucking best. And only you know if you're doing your best. I know when you're doing your best. I can see it.
Yeah.
right? I also know when you're lying to me about, you say, oh, I'm doing my best. It's like, okay. And you can read it off of me too, like, right?
Yeah.
And so I think at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to allow you to really embody this is two things. One, setting your intention for whatever you're doing in that moment. Two, spending time every week reflecting back on what you did well and what you didn't do well that you want to improve on. What is working in my life and what is not working in my life? Not good or bad, right or wrong. That has judgment all over it, guilt and shame all over it. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
What is working? What is not working? This new schedule is working. This new schedule is not working. Well, how do we make this new schedule go from not working to working? Let's ask those questions. So if you add intention and give yourself some gratitude, you're on the right path.
I mean, the good thing about this new schedule is that I do have more time and space to like spend that in a daily devotional and like get that quiet time before I actually start my day, either running to the gym or, with the boys. And so I feel like it's on the right path because I do have that time when I didn't before. And I felt this like calling to like just connect with God like more so that I'm not like running so freaking hard and like just have this like overall like sense of like flow and peace to things.
I get it. One of the greatest gifts that has been given to me was when God came back into my life and it created all this peace. I don't give a fuck what people say about the Bible or religion. I don't give two fucks about that. I don't even give a shit about my friends who are like, make fun of me for like reading the Bible and talk shit. I don't give a fuck about that either. Here's what I do know is that the results and the fruit in my life are inarguable. I'm at more peace and I'm a better man now than I ever was because I know that I don't have to control all of it. I simply have to wake up every day and accept my calling of what I'm called to do and ask God what he wants me to do and stay obedient to that and not worry about anything fucking else. And if I do that, it'll play out. It'll work out. The reality is everything that you want that comes to success, we're not waiting on God. God's waiting on us. And part of that is us creating this new identity. So I'm glad you're at where you're at. Welcome to the fucking octagon. And it's great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be a part of it. Proud of you.
Thanks for being there.
Of course. So listen, fellas, your wives are going to struggle with this shit. If you're the sole provider, you have purpose. You have focus. You're bringing in money. It's tangible. You just heard my beautiful wife, Lizzi, talk about how like the work at home goes unseen. And if you really want to have like a beautiful relationship with your wife, you're going to have to learn how to help her see shit that she won't see herself, just like she does for you. So thanks for joining this podcast. If you loved it, right, give us a 5-star review. If you hate it, or you guys want to continue to tell me to go fuck myself and I should jump off a bridge, leave a 1. I also appreciate that. Either way, go follow my beautiful wife, Lizzi Ray on Instagram. Come follow me, Sergio Nazar on Instagram. And until next time, take care. Peace.